If you want to build a team that wins under pressure, you cannot rely on individual talent alone. Whether you are running a business, navigating a community, nonprofit, or leading an educational space, true leadership is inclusive, strength based, and deeply connected. Welcome to our special mid year reflection and season 3 celebration of Building Leadership Community podcast. We are streaming live right now on LinkedIn and YouTube. This is our first time streaming live our podcast show. So, welcome today to this very special event. And today, as we do for every season so far, we pull back the curtain on what it truly takes to sustain a thriving leadership culture. Roll credits. Hello, and welcome to Building Leadership Community Podcast. I'm your host, Dora Mendez. I am the founder and CEO of Coach Dora LLC. Our guests will be entrepreneurs, small business owners, and community leaders that drive social impact. It can be lonely at the top, but it doesn't have to be. As you know, here on the Building Leadership Community podcast, we're always joined by a guest. And I'm joined today by my co-producer and husband, Dylan Rogers. Welcome to the stage.
Hello.
Hi, honey. How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm excited. This is our first live show. And I'm excited to share. So today we're looking back at the powerful lessons our groundbreaking guests share this season. We're breaking down organizational resilience through the lens of the FIFA World Cup. We've got World Cup excitement here in our home. It's the summer. We're so excited. And to make sure you stay with us, we want to make sure you stay with us to the end because we have some special resources to share with you. So stay with us to the end. We're going to be hopefully 20 to 30 minutes. So make sure you stay with us. Because before we step away from our annual summer break, we are leaving you with an exclusive preview of our upcoming September lineup, featuring an incredibly diverse group of leaders across industries that we have discovered. Drop a comment right now. Let us know where you're tuning in from. And how are you reflecting on your own summer goals, on your own mid-year goals? So I'm setting I just added us. So drop a comment. Let us know where you're calling from, where you're watching us live from. And we're always excited to hear from you. And the beauty of while we're live, if you can't join us live, you can catch the replay and we read every single comment and we reply to every single one. So we're just so happy that you're here. The amazing leaders and community, Building Leadership Community. So as we head into July and prepare for our summer hiatus, we want to take a few moments to pause, celebrate, and truly reflect. This season has taken us on an absolutely incredible journey. We've explored leadership through raw, authentic conversations with nonprofit executives, educators, entrepreneurs, HR professionals, community advocates, authors, and corporate change makers. And most recently, the exciting teamwork and strategy showcased on the world stage at the FIFA World Cup. Different backgrounds, different cultures, yet so many of the exact same leadership lessons we're taking from the sportsmanship. So Dylan is going to join me. He's our guest for the show. Hey, honey, I see your camera shaking. Isn't exciting being live?
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen.
So that's your cue, honey.
Yeah, so one thing that stood out for me this season is that leadership never looks exactly the same from one guest to the next. Every guest brought a different lived experience and different challenges. But mostly everyone naturally came back to the same core pillars: relationships, trust, resilience, and alignment with purpose. It's remarkable how universal those themes really are, and we we look at high performing, inclusive teams, and that's one of the core ingredients. What do you think?
I can I agree with you, honey. That's one of the biggest reminders for me as a coach this year is leadership isn't about having all the answers. It's about having the humility and the strategic vision to help people move forward together. Whether you're leading a large organization, a classroom, or simply leading yourself through a season of transition, the supportive principles remain exactly the same. People matter, connections matter, character matters. So yeah, honey. And I guess I want to share with our audience that we're coming to you live on what day's today, honey? It's July 3rd.
Friday.
It's Friday,
Yeah.
July 3rd. Yeah.
Hmm.
And so, I write a little bit more on Substack. Like people have some feelings about what Independence Day means because celebrating Independence Day is straightforward for some. Patriotism is straightforward for some, but for others, it's more complicated. While we're happy to celebrate opportunities, there's also the truth that we've also felt excluded. So I write a little bit more about that on the meaning of independence. And it's not a political commentary, it's about people. And it's about leadership and connection and how we embrace the diversity of thought around what it means, what Independence Day means. And I'm proud to be born in the USA. And I'm also proud of my intersectional identity. And I'm proud that we showcase so many amazing voices and leaders this year. Um, and I'm especially proud this year we showcased, and for the first time in season 3, we allowed our children to host a podcast episode. And they talked all about the excitement. Our daughter, Naomi, interviewed her brother, Mateo. Um, honey, were you as surprised as I was at the children's episode?
Yeah, that was great. They have a natural charisma, and I love their enthusiasm.
And so, I want the audience to know that we did not write a script for the children.
Mhm.
They did it themselves, and it was all their ideas. So I was really proud of them. I guess they're mimicking their parents. They see us working on the show and producing the show, and they said we have a show idea, and
Mhm.
it has been soccer like 24/7 in our house. Our son wakes up in the morning, starts kicking the soccer ball around. we push him outside. It's too hot to be outside, so he comes inside. It has been all soccer all the time here. So I
Yeah.
guess, yeah, so I guess I want to share with our audience, and you can drop a comment. What do global sporting events? What about them resonate with your business? With community leaders, what is the organizational equivalent of halftime, especially right now in our mid-season reflection? How do great teams use mid-year reset to adjust their strategy without losing morale? I'd love to hear your thoughts, Dylan.
Oh, sure. That's one thing. That's one reason I think the World Cup has been such a fitting backdrop for our recent discussions. And this global event reminds us that no championship is won without individual with no championship is won with individual talent alone. It takes teamwork and community. The strongest teams aren't always the ones with the absolute biggest stars. They're the ones that communicate seamlessly and they adapt in real time, like we're doing right now.
That's right.
And they trust one another's strengths and they continue moving towards a shared goal, even when pressure is at its highest. those are strategic leadership lessons we can all apply directly to our corporate culture.
Exactly. Sports simply make visible what leadership asks us every single day to do. Stay focused on vision, to support one another during missteps, to actively learn from setbacks, to celebrate success collectively, and to remember that no leader succeeds entirely on their own. Uh, it's so funny. Dylan is my guest today, and usually we have a two shot, but he's a little shy. Even though this was his idea to do this live show, he,
I cut to you as much as I can because I have to also queue up some of the little banners and whatnot. So I don't want to look like I'm not paying attention.
well, that's cute, honey,
Yeah.
because we're pulling back the curtain today, right?
Hmm.
We're showing kind of people like what we
Yeah.
do, and so I love to ask you, I love to get your thoughts because you watch every episode. We pre-screen all of our guests beforehand, and so you get to see their bio, read their bios, connect with them before we record their episodes. So what surprised you most about our guest this season, and why did relationships emerge as ultimately from this process?
Well, that's a good question, and I'm gonna have to flip to my notes real quick.
No problem.
Uh, well, like I said, you know, um, all of our guests had a lot of the same had the same traits, like I mentioned before, like people matter, connection matters, and character matters. And so, what are your thoughts on our guests?
So aside from our children, we had a few firsts on the
Hmm.
show this season. We had our children hosting a show. We have this live event, which is first. We had our first um we had a lot of authors
Hmm.
this season. So we actually had a number of authors, which prompted our special International Women's Day show. We did
Hmm.
a show for International Women's Day, which also was a first. And we had a number of authors, and some of them showcased behind. If you're watching on YouTube, their books are showcased behind me. But
Hmm.
so we had Dr. Shaw. We had a lot
Hmm.
of PhD. We had a lot of doctors, a lot of PhDs this season. We had Dr. Shaw. We had Dr. Elena Ruiz Lopez. We
Hmm.
had my mom kicked off every season. That's not new. My mom kicks off every season, but what was new was her memoir came out, Amor de Samor de la Diaspora, which is behind me. If
Hmm.
you listen to our show and you don't watch on YouTube, we share all the links to the great books and the authors that we speak to. And so that was a nice thing that we had a really great, authors who were sharing their stories, um, and that prompted our International Women's Day sort of like Coach Dora book lists, like books that influence our leadership.
Hmm.
What were your thoughts on that?
I thought they were very inspiring, and we this has been our biggest season yet, um, with 20 something episodes. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes,
And
we have. Yeah, because people are just. I'm so overwhelmed. I love this. I love our audience. I love our listeners, our viewers, and people are discovering our show. And
mhm,
so this was the first, I think another first for season 3 was that we've got people that we didn't know or had no relationship with reach out to be guests on the show.
yeah,
And so you know, that was something new,
Mhm.
too. And so how was that for you producing 20 episodes? Because, and we also did it, we also, our frequency every Friday, we were more consistent. I think every season we get better with the show.
Mhm.
Can you share a little bit with our audience and viewers, like some of the behind the scenes and how we're getting better with the show, and like really being how mindful we are to take great care of our
Yeah.
listeners and viewers? Can you share?
Yeah, for sure. Accessibility is a big part, is important for us. So, I try to make sure that the episode transcripts are very accurate. So I used AI to help me comb through the transcripts that are generated in the editing program and look for anything that looks out of place and correct it much more quickly than I did in the previous two seasons. And we developed a cadence, right? Uh, we 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 film the episodes when the guests are available. Sometimes two episodes in one day or three, and then decide on an order for them to appear, uh, and we roll them out in week after week, and get all of the communications and messaging in place so that you guys can uh, know that they're coming out.
So, I want to thank you, Dylan, because I know you rather be behind the scenes than in front of the camera. But this was your idea. So I was hoping that you would share a little bit some of some of what you gleaned about leadership from our guests, because you get to spend some time with them before they record their episode. So anything in particular that stand out, or some lessons that you've learned throughout the season, that you like to share?
Well, I think I heard some leaders talking about finding a mentor. I think that's important, even when you've been doing what you're doing for a long time. There's always something new to learn, and also staying connected with your community, or finding your people is an important part of leadership. Uh, I think one of our previous guests said something like, you have to pour into yourself so that you can uh, pour into others' lives.
Do you
Right,
remember
Dora?
who that guest was, honey? I know you took notes.
I, well, that was a season one guest, Dr. Eunice, I think it was. So um, that stood out for me. But
But
um,
that's something new that we did this season as well, which was we did some encore presentations based on like what
mhm,
was happening in the world. Like, so we did, this season was also the first time we did some encore presentations where we kind of updated them, encore episodes. So, we're New Yorkers, and we couldn't help but not, we wanted to celebrate the championship, the Knicks championship. So we did an encore presentation of a season two guest, the
mhm,
only professional athlete, basketball player that we had on the show, a WNBA player that we had on the show. And so we did an encore presentation. We kind of we re-edited it, and bookended it and made some commentary to bring it up to date. But that was our way of celebrating, was we're showcasing our WNBA leaders. And we did the same. Uh, can you talk about that? Like how that was also something that was new. This, like every season we expand, we get bigger, we have more diverse guests. And
mhm.
this season, we also decided to make sure that we're celebrating wins and leadership. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so I think it's good to experiment a bit. Um, so that's one thing we did this season, trying something new, and we gave some episodes from the previous season sort of a fresh uh, repackaging, a new thumbnail on YouTube, and Dora recorded a new opening, queuing up the episode. So I thought that was refreshing. What do you think, Dora?
But honey, which ones did we do? Who did we encore?
Well, we encored Sammy Walker Herrera and the basketball player also of uh,
Angela R. Lewis. Oh,
Angela R.
honey,
Lewis.
oh, this was your idea to go live, honey, and you're
I
acting
know.
like you're not prepared. Did it just like leave your head? Because usually in our mid-year reflections, you
Hmm.
usually share like you go guest by guest, and you
Hmm.
tell me like some epiphany you've had or something. So I'm just a little, I keep throwing the ball to you. So I don't know if it's like it just left out of your head. You got nerves because we're live, but you always have these great caveats to share. So we talked about the authors we had on season. We talked about the encore, like the way we decided to respond and celebrate was
Hmm.
to do these encore shows like that were aligned. And I think part of the reason why we encored Sammy was because we were thinking about disability rights and
Hmm.
autism and ADHD, and she gave a great. She's a wonderful leader who really spoke to that expertly, and and then we also did a very special episode. This year was hard in the early part of this year. It was rough, and we had a guest who was from Minnesota, and with their permission, we don't make political commentary. The show is a positive, inspiring show that's a supportive community for leaders, but we could not make a comment on what was happening earlier this year. And we did have a guest who happened to be from Minnesota, um, and I'm blanking on the name right now, Hanson, and his
Hmm.
wonderful it was the first time we had an inventor as a guest on the show, and compass cards.
Hmm.
And I remember when we recorded that episode, we were so excited that we were going to have. I mean, I can't. I'm pretty sure he'll be on Shark Tank, and we were so excited that we had like a Shark Tank. We had them before Shark Tank, before we like blew up, and
Hmm.
on our little show, and he was just a wonderful guy. And then the events happened, and we did we didn't talk about what happened, but we issued a statement. It was the first time we issued a statement about the deaths of that were happening there. And so so that was also something new, but not because we planned it, but it just felt like the right thing to do. And it was a decision that kind of we struggled with, because our show is really about inspiring leaders, building community. Our tagline is "It's lonely at the top, it doesn't have to be," but we felt like we had to do something.
Hmm.
Do you want to comment on that?
Um, well, yeah, that was something new for us to deal with, and I think we struck a good balance. Doing showing a written statement at the beginning of the episode, because we had to acknowledge it in some way, right? So I think we struck a good balance there. Oh, and another episode we encored was Bora Lee from season one. There was
Yes.
Asian
Why
American
did we do?
Pacific Islander Heritage Month, right? So that came up, and we thought that was an appropriate time to showcase her episode.
And we had I want to make sure that we talk about all our other guests this season, make sure that
Hmm.
so because while we're taking a summer break, rest is important. We're taking a summer break. We're going to be back in September. I just want to make sure that people know that while we're taking a summer break, the show is there. That's one of the great things about this digital age. Our community is always open. The Building Leadership Community podcast and the community that Coach Dora is building is always open. And we had some wonderful guests that you can go back and listen to episodes of. And I want to make sure that we highlight all of the wonderful guests that came on. We had our first ever global marketing entrepreneur on the show.
Hmm.
Um, you want to talk about that, honey?
Oh yeah. That was very interesting to see. Arius Websterberry. Check out his website. He actually has a couple of different businesses, right? Um, I I thought he was very insightful, especially talking about time management and having a good support system in place. I thought that was very insightful.
We had Yulkendi. Yulkendi was
Kendi Valdez, yeah.
and Yulkendi is amazing. I mean, I know. What really caught me from the show was she was basically the first, Dominican immigrant, uh, who won the National Spelling Bee. And every time I was talking to her, I was thinking about Aquila and the Bee. That was when she was young, like how her leadership started when young back in the days in the Dominican Republic. And I actually ran into her in an Amtrak station recently. We were both going to DC to do a training. I know that she does so much, and her episode was so amazing. You know, how she went all the way back to, she shared her immigration story with us and her entrepreneurial spirit and all the things that she's done. And now she's, I like to call her like a tech titan, like she's like, I know that she works with Google. She's worked with all of the big tech firms, and her episode was really inspiring. And I just loved listening to her story. I was just so amazed, like what an overachiever she was.
Hmm.
And it's just so strange how what I love about our show too, and when we talk about building community, is we every guest becomes part of the Coach Dora ethos and becomes part of our family. And I ran into Yukendi in the train station, and we're still connected. It was so wonderful to run into her, and we were both headed to DC to do trainings.
Hmm.
And it's the relationships that we build, and we help connect our guests to each other. We help connect our guests to each other. And so we hope that you also get inspired by our show, get resources, learn, connect with others. That's what community is all about. Were there any
Hmm.
other guests this season that we want to make sure we talk about all our guests so that folks can think back? Anyone else that struck you, honey?
Oh, Stefan Spilkowitz. I follow him on LinkedIn, and he always has great events for his people, his colleagues. So I think he's really good at building community in his workplace.
Yeah, Stefan,
Hmm.
like us, his spouse, they have like a side business
Hmm.
where he works with his spouse. And Stefan is a mental health professional, and he works at the WCJ in Westchester County. He works for a wonderful organization that provides mental health counseling support. It's a wonderful nonprofit organization, and he spoke beautifully about wellness and work-life balance and what he does to reflect and energize. So Stefan's episode, it was really, I think, was really lovely, and he spoke so well.
Mhm.
And one of the things we do on our show is we try to curate guests to really enrich our community, and not only just inspire you, but also give you real tools
Mhm.
how to be the best leader you can be. Who else, honey? Who else did we have? Who else do we have
Oh,
on?
how about Erica Dox Martinez?
Oh,
Mhm.
Erica's episode. Erica Doc Martinez, the money. I always want to say the money. The money
Blissful
episode.
Vida.
Yes.
Blissful Vida is the name of her business.
Now, her episode was one of the most popular episodes the whole season.
Mhm.
And I received the most comments on her episode because as a Gen Xer, when I shared the episode on my face with my Facebook community, she talked about college loans and repaying college loans, and almost all of my friends from college and high school made a comment about it. Why do they give 18-year-olds credit cards? And for some reason that stuck. And that was one of the most popular episodes that we had. And Erica does a great job with helping people like deal with money, their feelings about money, help people and so her show was really it was the most I think that was the most popular show, wasn't it, honey? Didn't we get the most views on
Yeah.
her short?
Hmm. Yeah. And I get her newsletters in my email, in my inbox. Go check out her website sometime. She specializes in helping people rethink how their relationship with money, which is very important.
Who else was up, honey?
I have to give a shout out to a couple that came back sort of on short notice for a really special episode about leadership and in relationship to the World Cup and teamwork. Anisha Jennings, uh, she develops websites and is and provides IT support. She has a great business, right? Uh, what do you recall about her episode?
What, honey? Who's you said two?
Anisha Jennings and Dr. Lori Marie Huertas.
And Dr. Huertas talked about shared with us her visit to the soft opening of the Obama Center,
Hmm.
which
Yeah.
was was pretty amazing. And Anisha's so darling.
Hmm.
She talked a lot about her philosophy when it comes to failure as a leader, and I loved what she had to say about risk taking.
Hmm.
And that failure is data and feedback, and that real failure is quitting. It's not trying at all.
Hmm. And you had Gene Westrick.
That's right. How can I
Yeah.
forget Gene Westrick from Technology Association of Grant Makers, TAG?
Hmm.
Gene is a leader that I have come to admire so much. Gene at TAG Tech. They have the Gene is the CEO and president of TAG, and that they're also my client. They're also a Coach Dora client. For those
Hmm.
who follow me and know, the podcast is something that Dylan and I work on. It's our way of building community, but my real business is as an HR consultant. That's how we pay the bills. And Gene is the CEO and president of TAG, which is one of my clients. And I had never met Jean. I was working with TAG for it's been a year and a half, and I met her physically, like been in the safe space for the first time in
Hmm.
May of 2026, when they did a data summit here in New York. And her show, I loved how she talked. She gave great advice to the next generation of leaders,
Mhm.
about leading with empathy. And she had it was just such great advice. And so she's someone who I work with closely. Um, and also I've really come to admire her as a leader, you know, and doing so with limited resources. Someone who's leading, a small philanthropic, uh, uh, you know, adjacent organization,
Mhm.
uh, and doing it with limited resources. So it was just great advice she gave.
Yeah. How about Dr. Elaine Ruiz Lopez?
Yes, one of our authors.
Yeah.
She also That's the most popular short. Her short was the most popular, I think, this season.
Mhm.
I think the most likes and clicks we got
Mhm.
was her show. She gave her her clip where she talked about how leadership is not a job title, and she talked
Mhm.
about her very humble beginnings in the Bronx when the Bronx was burning, and all the way up to becoming a doctor and running schools, a leadership school.
Yeah.
Uh,
You have her book there in the back, in the background.
yes, yes. If you're watching, you can. I don't know if you could. I got to turn my head so that
Yeah, that's it.
I'll turn
Yeah,
the I'll turn the camera
there
a
it
little
is.
bit. There it is, Equity in the Bronx. Yeah.
Hmm.
Who else, honey?
Let's see. Let me go back to my little list here. Oh, this was our first time interviewing two people at once. Christopher Eady and Lisa O'Born. Remember?
Dr. Edie and Lisa. Their show
Hmm.
was also pretty popular.
Yeah.
People they talked about neuroscience,
Hmm.
the neuroscience, and it was the first time we had such a guest that really broke down sort of like the neuroscience behind leadership and the practices that they build and how they work with clients to bring out the best in teams. And it was fascinating, the
Yeah.
neuroscience
It's
they discussed. I was really, yes, that was our first team interview. um and the neuroscience was great. So uh you know while we're on a summer break, I hope that you check out some of these episodes. And I know
mhm.
we want to, I'm being mindful of time because underneath we are going to the pool after this episode. So who else, honey? So
um,
we can get our summer pool on.
well, Kyle Smith. Remember, he is was the closest guest to what you do, like a parallel to your expertise. So I thought that was kind of a good mind meld between the two of you. Uh,
I honestly, Kyle and I kind of commiserated a little bit about dealing with the negative stereotypes of HR professionals. It was really
mhm.
lovely. And Kyle has a podcast too.
Mhm.
And a book, and his business is exploding.
Yeah,
So I'm really happy that Kyle joined us, and his business is rooted in Ohio.
yeah,
And so it was really lovely listening to him and having a chat, and having another fellow HR professional uh talk with us about navigating those stereotypes, um the negative stereotypes of being an HR professional.
yeah. How about Jonathan Mahar Zayas?
Oh my goodness, Jonathan did a great job with the moral injury. I had never heard that term before.
Hmm.
When we were talking about burnout, and he gave us sort of like this medical like diagnosis definition of what burnout really is, and I thought that was just incredible. The equity warrior, the equity warrior. So if you wanted to, if you missed that episode, I have to say that it was really, that's really one for the books.
Hmm.
especially if you're really coping with burnout and trying to avoid burnout.
Hmm.
And I just love that moral injury framework. Who else?
How about Dr. Danielle? I follow her on Substack and she follows me.
Oh, I love Dr.
Hmm.
Danielle. It used to be
Hmm.
Mosley, now it's Dr. Cox.
Yeah.
And oh my goodness, I love what she said when because she runs an organization for college bound Oliver scholars. She runs an organization that helps get scholars into college.
Hmm.
And I love the organization she runs. And I asked her like what advice she would give to the next generation of leaders, and I just love what she says. She says, "My advice is don't take advice," and I love it. And
Hmm.
now I just loved what she said, which was, sometimes people give advice from the place of their own fears. And
Hmm.
so I loved her take on it because she works with young people. She is making a difference in the world, one student at a time. And the impact that they have sending these future leaders, making sure they get into top colleges, is just amazing. And she's been wonderful. I mean, we know her not just in her work role, but like personally. She gave us great advice for our son
Right. Yeah.
when he was, so she was someone that we called upon when we were struggling to make decisions for Mateo's schooling. And
Hmm.
she really was wonderful. And again, she didn't give us advice. What she did was she gave us, and she really educated us so that we can make the decision. um and so I was so overjoyed to be able to showcase her on our podcast and let the world see what like an incredible leader, and what a wonderful organization Olivia Scholars is. Who else, honey?
Hmm. Uh, lastly, we have Nikki Groom. Yeah.
Nikki. Oh, Nikki. Now, how did we get connected to Nikki? It was from our Talkadots,
Yeah.
right? She's from a Talkadot. So we use you know, when I'm asked to do trainings, workshops, keynotes, panel, I use this speaking app called Talkadot to collect feedback and to engage with the audience. And Nikki uh was integral part. That's one of her clients is Talkadot, and that's how we got connected to Nikki. And she shared
Yeah.
really great insight on branding and marketing. What did you take away from that episode?
I thought she had some great insight on how to elevate public speakers. That's the core of her business. And also, her and I had a side talk about producing podcasts, which was very interesting. So go check out her website. She recently had her website revamped. It looks great. And
So I guess that's a good segue,
mhm.
honey, to a lot of people ask us about, first of all, people ask us like how we can work together as
Mhm.
spouses, which is can be challenging sometimes, especially when you like. I feel like sometimes we're balanced to each other. I'm an extrovert, you're an introvert, and then people tell us why they gave up. Maybe they had a positive, they give it up. People ask all the time about podcasting, so I just want to. We do have a course to help
Mhm.
entrepreneurs. Do you want to bring it up, honey, so we could
Yeah.
share with people? Go ahead. Uh, no, honey, that's for you to talk about.
So we have a podcast course, the Entrepreneurs Podcast Blueprint. Go check it out at coachdoramendez.com/courses. There's 5 video modules, very easy to follow. It's for those of you who are very busy and think that you're too busy to do a podcast, but you have all these thoughts in your head that you would like to share. So let me tell you, it's not as hard as it seems to get started. Just give it a try. It's only $99. These 5 wonderful modules that cover everything from how to get your ideas organized to getting just their minimal equipment to get you started, which isn't very much of an investment. So go check it out.
All right. I'm excited. I'm so excited about these conversations that we have ahead coming up. We're taking our break, but I just wanted to share that while we're taking a pause from broadcasting over the next few weeks to recharge and refine our strategy, and to bring you more bigger, better, thoughtful conversations, to support your leadership and your community. While we're out doing that, um, and discovering more dynamic and innovative voices in the space, when we return in September, we are dedicated to hosting an incredibly diverse group of leaders across industries, professions, and lived experiences. We are talking to visionary authors who are redefining modern workplace psychology, passionate educators reshaping how we train the next generation of leaders, CEOs driven by massive growth through inclusive cultures, and brilliant public service executives leading with deep empathy. We are going to explore brand new ideas, tackle fresh industry challenges, and unpack new opportunities for us to scale and grow together, grow our businesses, grow our minds, continuous learning and improvement, and hopefully bring that money home, bring it home,
Yeah.
build that wealth, right?
And
Because ultimately, go
yeah.
ahead, honey, go ahead.
And September is going to completely elevate how our audiences view their careers and their culture. And we can't wait to share our incredible guests that we have lined up.
So while we're taking a break for a couple of weeks from broadcasting, you can watch our how many episodes we have now, honey?
I think it's up to 27 for this season.
Total
Yeah, for this season.
for this season, but
Yeah,
we have way more. That season
we
one,
have
season two.
season 1 and season 2. Yeah,
So
and
you can look back, and then we'll be back in September to bring you so much more. But we're not going away. As even though we're taking a break from broadcasting, our community is always open, it's always live. We're always here for you. Drop us a comment, drop us a note. We read every single one, and we will get back to you and take our course. Dylan, you didn't mention that you have, because we really do believe that everyone has something that's important to say, and that
yeah,
podcasting is a really great way to say it. Um, there's room for all of us to share our knowledge and expertise, and we want to support you in doing that. And do you want to share, honey, that you're taking on to like one or two clients? So you want to share
yes,
that?
yes. So if you really feel that um, this is a bit daunting for you, but you really want to start a podcast, you can set up a call with me. Uh, we'll set up a call on my calendar and talk about your podcast goals, and I can help you through everything, even from uh, lining up your guests to editing and producing your show and getting the artwork sorted out and
And we
everything and
have
getting it
something
out
for
there.
we have something for every budget. So we have
Yeah,
something for every budget. We can help you with whatever your budget is. We can help align you and help you with whatever your budget is.
and if
Um,
you take the course at the end, you get a free consultation call with me. We can talk it out.
and you get workbook, you get tools, you get
Mm,
checklists, you get our links to discount links and our affiliate links.
AI
So
prompts.
AI prompts, yes. So you
Yeah.
get so we have something for every budget.
Mhm.
And yeah. So we want to thank you for joining us live. We're
Mhm.
so overjoyed, and we're going to get this on our podcast feed.
Yeah.
We are going to we wish you a lovely summer break. We hope you watch the World Cup, the FIFA World Cup finals. We'll be watching it too as a family. Is it going to be an exciting day? We might have a watch party. And we literally live like 20 minutes from MetLife Stadium where the finals are going to be performed. I know I'm going to be watching. There's so many lessons that we've learned and taken away about leadership and bringing the world together, and community, inclusive communities is so important. So we want to thank you for
one more thing.
Go ahead, honey.
Follow us both on Substack. Dora's articles come out every Sunday, and they're brilliant. And if you don't like to read, you can press that little listen button and have a lovely voice read it to you. And mine come out on Wednesdays. Free branding advice on Wednesdays.
Wonderful plug, honey. So even though we're taking a break from broadcasting the podcast, we are still around. We're still available. Our community is still active. And so we look forward to you joining us, whether you listen to us on your favorite podcast audio platform, or you watch us on YouTube. We're bringing you content. There's going to be continuous content on there for you, and we look forward to having you join us in September. Where we already have like an incredible lineup of guests, and we look forward to we'll catch you in September. Have a lovely summer. Mwah! We love our audience. We love our viewers. And if you're new to our show, don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe. Help us out with that YouTube algorithm. Take care, everybody. Mwah! Bye, everybody. Bye, honey. Thanks for being on the show. I know it's hard to get you from behind the scenes, but thank you, honey. I love you too. Bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to Building Leadership Community. Watch on YouTube at Coach Dora M. Listen wherever you get your podcasts. Follow me on LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube at Coach Dora M. Visit me on the web at CoachDoraMendez.com. Hosted by me, Dora Mendez. Produced by Dora Mendez and Dylan Rogers. Graphics, editing, and sound mixing by Dylan Rogers.